Hey, what's up y'all, it's Marcus. In today's video we're going to go back in time and check out the D850. Is it still a great camera in 2022? You have the Z9, the Z7II, the Z6II, the Z5, so we want to see, is the D850 still usable for portrait shooting in 2022? I'm going to give you some of the drawbacks and things that I don't like about it, and if you should upgrade to a Z7II or a Z9 after the intro. Please go to ProPhotoEdits.com where you can download my Lightroom presets and Photoshop actions. And I just want to remind you guys that my online creative lighting and editing course is up right now. I get asked about this every single day on Instagram. If you're not following me, the link will be down below. But how do you get these in-camera effects? I don't do any of this in Photoshop. This is all done in camera. So I've put 12 courses in here, 12 different photo shoots, and I explain what tools I use to get these looks in camera. And I usually just use one light. Sometimes I use one light and one LED, but I don't have a dynamic lighting setup. Everything you're looking at here right now is explained in the course. We're over, I think, 300 or 400 people in the course right now, so it's really growing and people are really happy with this. And we've just added some extra things that you're looking at right now with the light throwing technique. You're going to see that today in this video, that we're going to use this in an abandoned location. Nothing extra going on here. This is all done in camera, so you get the raw files, the Lightroom presets, the Photoshop actions, screen recording. I have me editing these looks that you're looking at now, and I've also included a new creative gelling course to get you these looks like this in camera, so consider that. Alright, so the D850, I pulled it out for a shoot that I was on with my friend Holly at a friend of hers pool. So using this camera now, it does feel different than it did back when I used to use it every day, because there was no Z series out. Okay, and you're gonna see why in a second. So I'm just giving you some backstory here. We're just shooting this natural light, daytime, and it's overcast, so there's not going to be any harsh highlights. It's going to be nice, pretty light. So I was just going around trying to find some cool angles, cool shots and stuff like that. The lenses I used today were the 35 1.4 Sigma Art, and I used the 85 1.4 G and the 105 1.4 the Nikon, of course. And then I'm going to show you some of those shots, but I'm going to show you some of the drawbacks using this camera now that I'm so used to mirrorless, and why you might want to upgrade if you shoot the way I do. Okay, the first thing that stuck out to me is, you know, no eye detect, and you only have face detect, and this horrendous blackout that we used to be used to. If you're using the screen like I do on the back, the LCD screen, you see that rack focus, pull focus, and then you have big time blackout in between shots. That's a lot of blackout. That's more than my GFX, you know. So if you use the viewfinder, which I'm over viewfinders pretty much. I just can't get used to them anymore, because viewfinders on a mirrored camera like this, a DSLR, you know, you can't put the focus points wherever you want. You can't compose where you want. And then you have the mirror system where it can be, you know, back focusing, front focusing. It's not, you know, on sensor focusing like the live view like you're getting right now. But this blackout is pretty horrendous. The files, on the other hand, though, are just typical Nikon files. They're incredible. This is just raw and then edited with my that blue and my preset pack. The Nikon colors are always just incredible to me. The dynamic range, I love everything about the files. Okay, for this second shot, I just wanted to get something cool, some of my unique little angles that I like to use, especially with this 35 Sigma Art on there. So I had her lean her head back over top of this little waterfall that was there in the secondary pool. And you can see I'm a moment shooter. You know, I like to take a lot of shots, bam, 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 and get the right angle. That can make all the difference. I found it almost impossible to go back to shooting like this. Again, you can use the viewfinder and snap a bunch of shots, but it's just wonky to me because I can't frame it the way I want. I have to keep my focusing point in the middle, and with Sigma lenses, if you're using it through the viewfinder like a regular DSLR, it's almost always front focus or back focus. I don't know how many times I've fine-tuned these lenses and it's just never right. So I'm just forced to use the LCD at all times and make sure I get that, you know, on sensor detection to make sure it's sharp. But the colors, look, they're incredible. Okay, so this is going to bring me to my last point here about why you may want to upgrade if you shoot like me. Obviously, you can see that it's starting to rain really hard. Now, this is cool. We got a couple cool shots of her coming out of the water with the 105. I'll show you in a second. Sorry for the bad video quality. I had to pull the HDMI recorder out of my port because I don't want my camera to get ruined. But This camera will not do any type of video that's worthwhile at all, and I'm about to show it to you now. The video focusing on DSLRs, I mean the old Canon ones were okay, but the Nikon video focusing before the Z series was always god awful, as you can see. It just can't find the face, it can't find focus, it just back and forth, it hunts, it hunts, it hunts. It's just, I mean, it's a joke for video, so you can't really get any cool B-roll. You can't, there's nothing you can really do with the video, and the formats for recording video are just terrible anyway. Alright, so back to the water shot. It was raining. I wanted to stay out of the rain with the camera, so I put the 105 to get back further, and I wanted to get a shot of her coming out of the water. So now I have to take a bunch of shots at once, so I'm using the viewfinder, and I'm using it like a DSLR, and it was pretty accurate. But remember, this is a Nikon 105, this is not the Sigma 105. All the Sigma lenses are actually really good on mirrorless cameras, you know, the new Z series that I've tested. But they're not very good on the DSLRs, just because it doesn't matter how you tweak them. It's just always back focusing, front focusing. So I would be a Nikon glass shooter only if I was using the D850, because if you're going to use the viewfinder, it's just the way to go. You don't have to worry as much about tweaking lenses all the time and AF fine tune and then chimping. It's a nightmare. So wrapping up, just looking at some of these shots as we get out of here. The sensor is incredible. Everybody knows the D850 is one of the best sensors ever made. The Z7 is pretty much identical. I love those sensors. The Z9 I'm going to test in about a week, so subscribe for that and I'll check that out. I don't know. I can't ever go back. I'm always doing video. I'm shooting a lot of shots, and I need to shoot them quickly and see them pop up in review mode, and that's just how I get down. I can't go backwards now, guys. Only going forwards. I think mirrorless is the way to go. If you're still on your DSLR and it's working fine for you, then keep on going. There's really not that much benefit if you're a LCD shooter. If you're a hybrid shooter, I think the time is now to upgrade, maybe to a Z9. But until next week, I love you guys. It's Marcus.